Good day! In today's video, we will be discussing the first cartoon appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants! So, alright, let's go!
Yeah! So we start off in a prison where the National Police Chief and Warden Convention is taking place. Wow, these guys are really cheaping out, eh? I don't think it's really that expensive to rent out a hall or a ballroom, in New York, but maybe I'm wrong. Nonetheless, Peter Parker, Bobby Drake, and Angelica Jones are working this event, so they can get some extra money to buy a birthday gift for Aunt May. But Peter's spider sense is going off, and it's being set off by the magician performer at this convention. Peter quickly realizes that the magician is none other than Magneto, the monarch of magnetism. Which, can't be a good thing that he's there, right? So Peter changes into his Spider-Man uniform to confront Magneto, which goes horrible because Magneto plants him inside of a giant hourglass trap. So now that Magneto is exposed, he puts his plan into action. He makes the prison a magnetic prison by creating a magnetic shield around the entire thing. Everyone is trapped. But why is he doing this, right? Like, what's his deal? Well, turns out his teammates in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants are imprisoned in separate prisons across the United States. He doesn't know which prisons, right? Because their cells are completely shielded from him. So he goes right to the source, the Wardens. He demands that his teammates be released, or else. Meanwhile, Bobby and Angelica kind of figure something really crazy weird is going on, so they turn into their super-powered forms, Iceman and Firestar, and go see what all this commotion is all about. They quickly save Spider-Man from the Days of Our Lives intro, I guess, and they team up to attack Magneto. Only problem is, they totally suck. They get defeated one by one, which is not surprising because Magneto is freaking powerful. And like a bunch of chump idiots, man, they're really not giving Magneto's powers any respect. He's one of the most powerful villains for a reason. But speaking of Magneto's powers, Spider-Man kind of noticed something. Indeed, Spider-Man notices that Magneto is being extra powered by electricity. So they have a plan. While Firestar keeps Magneto busy, Spider-Man and Iceman will try to escape the magnetic shield, turn off the power at the Niagara Falls generator that is powering the island, and therefore Magneto should become mostly powerless. And that sounds incredibly inaccurate, but let's just run with it. Meanwhile, while being on a boat incredibly close to this prison island, Aunt May's dog, Miss Lion, leaps off the boat, swims to the prison, breaks into the place, and shows Iceman the way out of the prison by going under the shield in basically the sewer system, kind of like Andy Dufresne did in Shawshank Redemption, although a lot less dirty. So now that Iceman has a way out, Spider-Man needs a way out, even though he could have used the same way, but nay! Spider-Man likes to do things the hard way. He is able to escape the magnetic shield by getting Magneto to seal him in a metal container and throw him off of Niagara Falls to his doom! I kind of like Iceman's way better, it sounds a lot less, deathly, Nonetheless, Iceman and Spider-Man are on the outside, so now they can go to the power plant and inaccurately shunt Magneto's powers. But Magneto is pissed off at the Wardens. It's taking way too long to get his buddies out of prison. So displaying his powers earlier in the episode apparently did nothing, so now he turns the game up. He threatens to launch every single nuclear missile in the United States if his evil mutants are not released. So the Wardens are like, holy crap, we're totally screwed if that happens. And they have no choice but to release the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which consists of the Blob, Toad, and Mastermind. Threatening nuclear destruction was pretty effective. Maybe Magneto should have led with that threat instead, eh? It would have saved him a whole lot of time and effort. Suddenly, After a quick battle with Firestar, Magneto goes to the Niagara power plant to confront Iceman and Spider-Man. You see, it was a trap. Firestar told him to go there so that Iceman and Spider-Man can get Magneto stuck between two generators at the power plant to destroy him. Which Magneto points out that they're incredibly stupid because that actually gives him more magnetic powers. Blat! It's not that he has more magnetic powers, it's that he has too much magnetic powers. He can't control it anymore. Multiple random metal objects are flying towards him and he can't stop this assault of them. Huh, you know, you'd think every single metal object would be magnetically attracted to him and flying towards him, but no, just a couple of random things, as all these things flying towards him completely crush him. And, oh, is he dead? Holy crap, he looks dead. Wow, man, this took a dark turn. But now that Magneto is powerless one way or another, the magnetic shield dissipates, and his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants are put back behind bars. So the day is saved. Hooray! So all's good and well, and the Spider Friends go to celebrate Aunt May's birthday. So what a happy little ending, hey? Yeah! And with that is the end of this spectacular tale.
Yeah, man, like that was actually a pretty awesome episode. One thing that was really awesome about it was Magneto being a total badass. I do remember him being on that Fantastic Four episode in the 70s, man, and he was like totally corny in that one. But not this one, man. He was actually pretty hardcore. Except the whole point of him being a magic performer at that convention. Like, it seems kind of a waste of time, right? Like, realistically, man, he could have just floated into the prison there and, like, made all his demands and all that. Seems like a whole bunch of extra steps, you know, to be a magician to be brought in there. Considering if you're gonna be booked as a magician at a show, like, you have to have an audition tape, an agent, marketing material, and stuff like that. I can't exactly picture Magneto spending time and effort on those things, you know? But nonetheless, at least we got to see the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Well, at least kind of anyway, right? Sure, it was just a quick little cameo appearance and all that, but you know, we still got the basics of them. We learned what they look like, what their names are, and even what their abilities are. We actually got pretty close to them doing something, you know, in this episode, but you know what we got for them? Meh, I guess, you know, for an introduction, it's good enough. There was one little funny thing in this episode I did not mention in the recap. Turns out that Firestar had a date with somebody later on that day, but Spider-Man and Iceman didn't know who it was, so they were constantly trying to guess who she had a date with. You know, jealousy and all. But, you know, if these guys are going up against Magneto, like, maybe, and I'm just, you know, being wild here, maybe 100% of your focus should be on fighting Magneto. But I digress. But like I say, man, a really awesome episode, right? Even Aunt May's dog, Miss Lion, was, you know, doing her best Rambo impersonation, you know? Everybody was in the fight! So if you haven't seen this episode before, man, I suggest you do, because it's actually pretty hip. But now, let us go see what else we can find out about the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and other stuff like that over here.
Yes, indeed, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So, where do these guys come from, hey? Let's take a look in a comic book. So, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants first appeared in X-Men #4 in 1964. That title, of course, later on being known as Uncanny X-Men. The original lineup for the Brotherhood consisted of Magneto, Toad, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Mastermind. They were hell-bent on world domination. And, you know, X-Men #4 was the first appearance of all of those characters, except for Magneto, who first appeared in X-Men #1 in 1963. And they, a team of mutants, were very much like their biggest rival, the X-Men, who were also a team of mutants. So the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants made sense, right? You're basically fighting mutant fire with mutant fire. Also, much like the X-Men, The lineup of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants also changed quite a bit throughout the years. So Quicksilver and his twin sister, Scarlet Witch, were founding members of the Brotherhood, right? But the team was not for them, as they realized that they're actually not evil, so why are they with this team? They would join the Avengers in Avengers number 16 in 1965. So for this featured cartoon, those two were not involved in it because at that point in the comic books, they were the good guys. So that makes sense. The Blob, not being a founding member, he eventually joined the Brotherhood in Amazing Adventures Volume 2, number 12 in 1972. Quite a formidable member of the team. His first comic appearance was X-Men number 3 in 1964, so dude's been around for a while. But let's put a little bit of focus on those 3 imprisoned members of the Brotherhood from this cartoon, seeing as this episode is their animated debut. The cartoon did briefly mention the characters' powers, right? Toad has superhuman leg strength, superhuman endurance and stamina, coordination and balance, which, is just a friendly reminder to all of you to not skip leg day when you're working out. Balance is the key. As for Mastermind, he has the ability to create realistic illusions, right? Like as if everything he wants us to see is real, including touch, smell, taste, stuff like that. It's like if you were on board the Enterprise D and you were in the holodeck, man. It's the same kind of thing, but not technology, like just mutant powers. So in the episode, Mastermind, quickly showed a little display of his powers by showing the heads of 4 different characters. In case you didn't know, from Marvel Comics, these 4 characters are actually 4 different Marvel characters. So what we see here, we have Mephisto, Cyclops, Annihilus, and Zarathos, aka the demon that gives Ghost Rider his, ghostly power. Just a small little Easter egg for those of you who know. And for the Blob. The size of him is part of his mutant power, which gives him superhuman strength, superhuman endurance, and he is resistant to basically every single kind of attack, whether it be a weapon's discharge, even an attack from like adamantium claws, He is damn near impenetrable. Which being mostly invulnerable, man, geez, that's actually a pretty impressive power. And when he is defeated, it does take an incredible amount of power of some kind to really take him down. And so, for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, you're basically caught up with the team up to this point of this featured episode. Minus a couple new characters that are in the comics, but not in this episode, but nonetheless, we'll get to them later. But for the leader of the team, Magneto! Just a couple of quick little things on the guy. So, Spider-Man was able to figure out that Magneto was that magic performer based on his magic powers, right? And he recognized those powers because Spider-Man tussled with Magneto before. That was in the 1981 Spider-Man cartoon series in an episode called When Magneto Speaks, People Listen. And we did see a little bit of a flashback to that previous episode, seeing as this Amazing Friends series is technically a sequel to that 1981 series. Also, this featured episode shows that Magneto can have his powers amplified by electricity. But no! That's just flat out wrong. I'm assuming in this episode they needed some way to defeat Magneto, so they kind of created this amplification power technique thingamaroo. But in the comics, man, nay. All of his powers are from his natural mutant abilities. No outside forces. Also, the episode takes place on a prison island, right? So, New York City, prison island, well, that could really only be a reference to Rikers Island. Although, Rikers Island doesn't look anything like it does in this cartoon. Just a homage to it, I guess. Kinda looks more like Alcatraz, but that's on the other side of the country in San Francisco. But those are just some of the quick fun things about this episode, right? Like being brought up to speed with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and whatnot. We shall see more of them in the future in different series. But for now, even though this was mostly a cameo appearance, it's still pretty cool to see them. But that's all I got for today, so yeah. So with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess let's
that.
Also, if you guys are interested, I created my own superhero show and I have the first episode out already.
The Adventures of the Density.
So if you guys would like to check it out, I'll have a link above here and a link at the end of the video for you to peruse there.
Yeah, right on, and there you go.
So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.